Hey guys, Spartan from SpartanTrading.com. Hey, we want to hit you guys with a trade review today. What I want to talk to you guys about today is this VFS that I did on the short side. Been shorting it the last 2 days, actually last 3 days. Had to take a little bit of a loss on it on, I think it was Monday, because I decided I didn't want to swing overnight, which was a huge mistake because obviously got that huge unwind. So we'll talk about that, basically what I did on it today, kind of how I managed that position, but I think there's a good lesson in here. Let's start with Friday. Now, Friday, one of my main indicators was telling me to take this thing short and hold it overnight, but because it was, it's such a highly momentous name, I figured, I'll wait till the next day actually. So I took off that short, took a little loss on it, and then obviously it came in the next day. I ended up shorting it the next day, right out the gate, and then riding it down the entire day. And I had a target from yesterday, basically down here into this zone of $46, which ended up hitting in the after hours, and basically right at the close yesterday, which was fantastic. Now today I was looking for a continuation of the downside. This chart reminded me a lot of like AURC, which is probably the most recent one that sold off. Similar to this, BETR is now what it's called. But basically, this is a very overvalued name. It's running. The float's really tightly held by insiders, and then there's only a little float that's available to the public to be traded. So, all the outstanding shares are held. So basically, on this one, what I was looking for today was continuation to the downside. I was primarily using that hourly chart. So yesterday we started to get a bounce in the after hours. And then obviously in the pre-market here, we got a little bit more of a bounce. You can see there was a bear flag that was forming on the hourly. My idea was if this bear flag breaks, we're probably going to be getting into that 41.21 range. And then I was looking for this 37.51 to 38 level, which is also the 50 EMA on the daily. Well, 38.91 is where it is now. It was a little bit lower before. But that was kind of the primary target for today. And then if that level does break, I was looking for a continuation probably back into like 29.56 would be another little low area. I think we can get another couple days in it too. It's one of those names that just continues to unwind. But anyways, let's talk about the short that I did today because I thought this was a pretty good one. Basically, market opened up. It got a nice little pop into that 50 EMA area, which is where I took my primary short. Took pretty big size and added into it almost immediately. Ended up getting a nice little yank pull, covered a piece there. And by the way, I did about 15,000 on this trade today, this VFS. So pretty good trade for me. And you can see all the executions here if you guys want. So shorted at 55.66, and then ended up taking some off. Started to roll over again, so I ended up adding to the position. Yeah, I was pretty much going like 500 to 1,000 lots max. I think the most I went on at one point in time was like 1,200 shares, maybe. I didn't want to go too big on this thing just because obviously the amount of range. You don't need much size on a name like this to make money. Like I said, $1,000. Basically traded it down for 15 points to make 15K, right? So all in all, basically. Traded it right down to that 39.36 level at the end of the day. I ended up taking a little piece short overnight just to watch it, but all in all was a really nice trade. So shorted it, got that big yank pull, covered into that move, started to roll over again, basically break this head and shoulders to the downside. So ended up shorting it, covered a little piece into that low when I thought it was going to hold, and then shorted it back after it broke that level. Came to the downside, covered some. Right into this yank pull, started to short it again, held the position, waited for the bear flag to roll over there, covered a little piece, saw that it was still going to break down based off of the L2 and the price action, got back into it short, and then basically same thing at the end of the day there, got a nice little yank, covered some of that, reshorted because I thought it was going to roll over again. It did, covered into that rollover, reshorted it again. Shorted it into that rollover and then covered it on that yank. And then it started to come back up. I thought it was going to get a little bit rejected at EMA resistance, so I did take another little piece of it short. And now I'm just holding that overnight, and we'll kind of see where that ends up tomorrow. But all in all, it was a really nice short position, short trade to the downside. The idea for me basically was right off that 50 EMA and then looking for a continuation lower into this type of a range today. I think we can get through it tomorrow if we get one more day of an unwind. I don't know where it's going to gap. We'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely going to keep my eyes on this one, guys. And I think you should as well if you do have Boros. But anyways, just want to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown here. I haven't done a trade review like this in a while, so hopefully this does help you guys understand kind of my thought process and maybe you'll learn something from it. Thanks for watching, my friends. Talk to you later and enjoy the rest of your day.